Hi, welcome back to the Crafts channel. I'm Stuart Hillard. Thanks for your company today. Now in today's video, I'm going to be showing you an introduction to making a really beautiful crochet project. It's called the Sunset Shawl, and if you'd like the pattern, you can just follow the link in the description box below and download your pattern. It's a beautiful, simple, beginner-friendly shawl, easy enough to be your first project. It really only uses one simple stitch. So I'm going to enjoy showing you how to get started with that in just a moment. Now I'm using a really beautiful yarn for this project. It's a 4-ply hand-dyed yarn from a company called FelinFach. They are an independent Welsh company based on a 200-year-old Pembrokeshire flour mill, former flour mill. And they source all of the wool in Great Britain, and it's all hand dyed using 100% natural materials, and it creates these beautiful soft and vibrant shades, just perfect for this project. Real pleasure to work with. Now I'm also going to be crocheting using Prym Ergonomic's crochet hooks, and they come in a set. I'm going to just take this one out of here for a second. They come in a set of 5, and they're all color coded, which makes finding the right hook super easy. And they come in 5 different sizes. So you've got a 3.5, a 4, 4.5, 5 and a 6mm hook. And they're made so that they feel really comfortable in your hand, so you can enjoy crocheting for hours without getting that usual discomfort. They're a really, really nice grip. So those are Prym Ergonomics. So I need my 4.5mm hook, which is going to work really well with the 4-ply yarn to create a wonderful lacy texture in this shawl. Now I'm just going to grab it down a second so we can have a closer look at this project. You're going to use 4 different shades of FelinFach 4-ply sock yarn for this. And we've got mulberry here, and then coral. This is old gold. The last colour in the Sunset Shawl is this beautiful lemon yellow, and I love the fact that you've got these tassels that match the colours all the way around the outside of the shawl. It's a really, really pretty, simple, beginner-friendly project from Jackie Carriera, who's our guest designer on this one. Now, let me show you how easy it is to work the one stitch that you need to make that shawl. So I've got my FelinFach yarn here, and I've already chained a foundation. So I've started with a simple foundation chain, and I'm going to work my first row of fans into that chain. And this is the simple stitch, and it's based on trebles. So when you're working this foundation chain, working your first row of fans, you're going to start on the 6th chain and work the first fan there, and then thereafter it's going to be every 3rd chain. So we'll just count down 1, 2, 3 chains, and there's the space for the next one. So I've already wrapped my yarn around the hook, so I'm going to go in to that next chain, pick up the yarn and hook it through 2 loops, and then yarn around the hook and back through those 2 loops. So that's creating 1 treble, and then I'm going to work 1 chain. So you see that action to make the chain, it's just yarn around the hook and pull it through the loop, yarn around the hook and through. That creates the chain. So just working backwards, you're going to create a chain to start your project off. So I'm just going to pull it back to 1 chain, and then I'm going to work another treble into that same chain. So round and through, 2 loops, round and through, 2 loops, that's my treble, and then 1 chain. So I'll work 1 more, just like that. So yarn around the hook into that same chain. So we're actually working 3 trebles into that same chain. So yarn around the hook, pull it through 2 loops, yarn around the hook and pull it through 2 loops, and then 1 chain. So 3 trebles with 1 chain in between each, all worked into the same chain, and then the last part of this fan is 1 more treble worked into that chain. So yarn around the hook and work 1 more treble. And that creates the little fan. Let me just show you now. So you can see this little fan here and this little fan next to it. These are the fan shapes that create our motif. That's the single stitch that makes up the Sunset Shawl. Now from there, we're just going to miss 3 chain and we'll go into the next chain. So yarn around the hook, into that chain, and we're going to do exactly the same again. So just work your 3 trebles into the same chain, with a chain in between each, and then 1 more treble to finish off that motif. There we go. Now, when you come back to return for the next row, I'm just going to turn my work. You're going to start off by working 3 chain. So this gives us our space to move. So work 3 chain, and then yarn around the hook, and we're ready to go in for our next row. Now what you need to do, you've created 4 trebles into 1 chain. You've worked 4 trebles there. You're going to find the center and you're going to work your next motif into the center space. So actually that first row where you're working into the foundation chain is the hardest one to do. After that it gets much easier because you're just working in the chain space. So there's 2 trebles. Here's number 3, and in between each one, remember, we're working 1 chain, and then our last treble, number 4, and then no chain, and then we're straight in, jump to the middle of the next motif, that next fan, and work your 3 trebles with a chain in between each one, and 1 treble to finish the motif, and that is your stitch. Using 1 stitch only for this whole project makes it such a beginner-friendly project, and using your Prym Ergonomic hooks means that the whole process is comfortable and doesn't create that strain on your hands. So that's how to use 1 simple stitch to create the beautiful Sunset Shawl by Jackie Carriera using beautiful FelinFach 4-ply yarn. Thanks for joining me on this video from the Crafts channel. I hope you'll join me for another soon. Until then, don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so you always know when we've got a brand new video. I'll see you next time.